As you journey to your unlimited, I encourage you to dream big. Join me as I show you how. Hi everyone, I am Dr. Oneeka Williams. Welcome to the Dream Big series. Thank you for joining us. Today we are going to be focusing on the R in Dream Big. The R is for resourceful. Do you ever feel stuck because you just feel like you don't have what you need to fuel your dreams? You don't have the resources that you need in order to make those dreams happen. Most of the time, people actually equate resources to money. But I have actually found that our most powerful resource are the relationships that we develop. Now here's a story for you. Many of you know that part of our family tradition has been that we spend a week or two on Martha's Vineyard. I've even written a book about it. You know, the Dr. Dynamo, Martha's Vineyard Vacation. And one of the things that has become a part of that tradition is that I use it as an opportunity to meet people, to talk about the books. And I actually head out to the beach early in the morning. By 7:30, I'm out with the polar bears, setting up. And I would say that there are some people that will probably drive by and think, she's a surgeon, and she's on the beach essentially peddling books. And that just kind of seems like it would be beneath her station. Like, why would she have to resort to selling books on the beach in order to be successful? And I take a much more unlimited view because I have met so many people through the very activity of being on the beach with my books, where I am able to talk about the dream, I'm able to talk about the mission, I'm able to talk about the platform and the goals of creating impact. And in so doing, so many people who have similar visions, similar values, who understand the importance of this work as it applies not just to Black girls, as it applies not just to underrepresented minorities, but that as it applies to every single child, almost every single adult in our country, in the world, that will benefit from the messages that are created, the messages that are embedded, the messages and the content and the amazing literacy and science content that is part of the Dr. Dynamo series. And so not only has it created opportunities for me to reach through to people that I would not normally meet in everyday circumstances, but it has also created opportunities for my children to understand the value of being able to walk up to someone that you don't know and tell them about something that you believe in. Tell them about the product that you think has impact, that's something that touches you, that you want to share with the rest of the world. So how does this apply to you? If you have a dream, if you have something that you are seeking, that you believe that you are going to be successful at, that you want to be successful, that you have this big dream that is part of your belief of the destiny and the purpose for your life, relationships as a resource is the most important, from my perspective, the most important part of establishing and the realization of that dream. So how do you develop that resource? How do you become more open to meeting more people? How do you meet more people? The first thing is that you be open to engaging with others. Wherever you go, whatever you do, look at it as an opportunity to meet new people, to engage with new people, to be able to be vulnerable about who you are, to share yourself with people, and then be open to listening and engaging with who they are. And as you understand that in that dynamic, in that interaction, you are essentially developing what I will call a relationship reservoir, which then translates into a reservoir of opportunity. In this world of social media, it's easy to just dive inwards. It's easy to sit in our homes on a computer screen or a device and not reach out. But the first step is to be open to establishing those face-to-face relationships. And you can set simple goals. Literally, one per day. If you are open to saying that I am going to meet one person per day, this becomes much more achievable. It doesn't seem as daunting as if you have this entire construct where the expectation is that no matter where you find yourself, you're going to engage with a gazillion people. If you're going to the mall, if you're going to a party, if you're going to a meeting, choose one person and say that for today, I am going to meet one new person. And because our relationships are bi-directional, relationships are meant to be reciprocal, relationships are meant to engage and involve and exchange, developing resources through a relationship reservoir does not mean that you are only approaching it from a perspective of what am I going to get from it. You have to approach it from the perspective of what is the exchange? What am I willing to give? How can I be a resource to someone else? And then how, in turn, might they be a resource to me later down the road? And so that means that it informs what I call the back pocket questions. You have to have a back pocket strategy where you have 5 or 6 questions that you will always ask to begin to really help to understand who people are, what they do, the why of what they are, and how might you be helpful to them, and how could they possibly be a resource for you down the road. And so some of the questions that I like to ask is, what is the most adventurous thing that you have ever done in your life? It causes people to stop and think, and it gives you an idea about who they are. Another question could be, what are some of the things that you are afraid of? Like, what are things that make you stop and say, oh my God, I could never do that. And pick something that you're afraid of and that you've overcome that fear. And what is that thing? And what is the story about how you overcame that fear? You can also talk about, what is your family known for? Like, what are some unusual things about your family that you think are different about your family compared to other families? So as you engage with unusual questions, for instance, the one that I just mentioned about the family, what that actually will do is that person will have to give you some background information so that you can understand the context of what is special and different about their family. People love telling stories. And so if you ask questions and you frame questions to actually encourage people to tell a part of their story, you will gain much more insight into who they are, what their beliefs are, what they do, what's important to them. And that gets kind of pocketed in your relationship reservoir, in your opportunity reservoir. And attached to that, remember, find opportunities to meet new people. Put yourself in places where you're gonna have a new experience and a new exposure. Don't go to the same place over and over again. Obviously, there are some places that are part of our routine. We go to church every week, we work in particular places. But even when we go down to the cafeteria at work, don't always sit in the same place. Don't always sit with the same people. Use the opportunities to sit at a new table with a completely new set of people so that you get a chance to practice. And practice makes perfect. Practice helps you to become much more comfortable. So continue to embrace those opportunities where you can develop those relationship reservoirs, which equate to opportunity reservoirs. Be willing to share yourself, share your story, be willing to dig deeper to hear other people's story, and be willing to exchange those ideas, those information, those pieces of yourself, which then will equate to all of the reservoirs where these resources become accumulated and will eventually, I promise you, the same way when I'm at Martha's Vineyard, I'm on the beach and I'm meeting people from all across the country, and out of that have come the opportunities for me to do so much more with my books, to establish and increase the reach of my books to the extent where not even the sky is the limit for the Dr. D.D. Dynamo book series. So will you be able to establish and develop the resources that will create unlimited opportunities for you going forward and be able to help you to create unlimited opportunities for others as they go forward in the pursuit of their dreams. Remember, not even the sky's the limit.